Early morning, late night.
Skyler? One.
Hello?
Approximately how many miles do you have on your vehicle?
Sorry. Hold on. Let me turn my music off for you. I've got about 77,000 on my old truck.
All right, 77,000 miles on your 2011 Ford Focus, right?
My right, my rally car. Yeah, I got about 77,000 on it. I'm sorry, I got it confused with a truck because I'm not as active as I used to be.
All right, so sir, our warranty specialist will talk to you about the huge discounts and
Yes.
incentives available for you.
Awesome.
So please stay on the line, okay?
I got it. I'm on the line. What's your name?
All right, so sir, this is Marish from Dealer Services.
Hi,
So
Mary.
is it okay to you if I will Yes, sir. Is it okay to you if I will transfer you now to your Ford license specialist?
Sure, will there be on hold music? I don't like the rap.
I'm sorry?
Is there gonna be hold music? Cause I don't like the goddamn rap.
All right, I see. So
The rap,
anyway,
you
thank
know,
for your
the
time
rap
and have
music,
a
and
good
you
one.
know who's
Bye.
singing it, and you so want to say it. Hello? I'll hold.
Hello?
I'll
Yes,
hold.
sir. Are you willing to be transferred?
Absolutely transfer me. Oh, being transferred.
What is it?
All right, sir. I will transfer you now. Please
I
stay
am-
on the line, okay?
You got it. I've been transferred.
Hi, thank you for holding. My name is Chris. I'll be your senior coverage specialist today.
Hey,
This is
Chris.
a pleasure speaking with.
My name is Charlie Puth. Like the famous Charlie Puth, but not.
How you doing today, Charlie?
I prefer to go by Puth. Tell your hoodlums to shut their mouths.
I know, right?
Oh, Chris, you son of a bitch.
Once it got to the white guy,
Yeah.
all bets were off.
Yeah.
He knew. He's like, I listen to Jerky Boys. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer, is here. Good evening, Samantha.
Good evening.
I got to get used to lying to the listeners and saying that it's evening because it'll just sound better if I say that, right? But it's weird to
if they're
say it.
listening live through the radio, yes.
It's also weird
Yeah.
to say that we are recording on January 14th of 2014 and to be able this far in the future. It's weird, right? It
Oh,
is
yeah.
weird to be this organized now. We're streamlined, we're getting everything out, but our shows are never really topical because we record them so far in advance.
We've actually retired a year ago.
Oh yeah, I haven't been working. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So wrap your brain around that.
So on the line with us from our medical marijuana dispensary partner, Trulieve, we've got Skyler. How you doing, Skyler?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Oh, no.
It's crazy that we're already 2 weeks into the new year. I think it's going to be Christmas already soon.
I know,
I know,
right?
yeah.
It's so fast, and we're rocketing through January already. Of course,
I know.
we had a great holiday. I wouldn't have been as good without Trulieve because I was bedlocked due to COVID, so I just decided to take that time to investigate all of your products.
Good.
Yeah, because I had nothing else to do. So I was like, well, if I'm going to stay in my room and play video games all day, I guess I'm going to saddle my video games with
Yeah.
a little Trulieve
Yeah.
and then make it a fun time.
Yeah, no one ever talks about that. I was like, well, if I got COVID, I might as well be high.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't
Exactly.
it?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
was like, this sucks, so I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
play video game. Oh, look at
Yeah.
how much better I am now. Look, I go to bed.
Yeah, can't hurt. But I don't know if you knew it, Skyler, but over the Christmas break, the whole studio got it.
Yeah.
I'm
no.
Yeah, I'm sure you you know that it seems like everybody's got it. Like every time I talk to anybody, it's always either I just had it or my family has it. He's like, it is going around crazy.
Yeah, but let's talk about fun stuff. Do you guys have? Well, I've noticed some new products. In fact, at my my home location, which I like the Winter Park location, the one on Aloma.
Okay.
But I noticed that is it Colors, the all-in-one battery kind of deal where you don't have to have a rechargeable battery. You can you can have an all-in-one device that you can use, that you can bring back to them and recycle. I do that with my little carts now that I know I can. I bring them back.
Yep.
Is that brand new? When did that come out? Because there's so many different variations of it. I was getting a little bit lost.
I would say Colors probably came out. So Colors is a brand that was under our newest acquisition, Harvest.
Gotcha.
So that was a brand, so it's a house brand through Harvest. And then obviously when we acquired Harvest, then we got Colors. And I would say that we probably launched it a few months ago. Like, it's obviously less, I would say it would be at least less than 4 months. But like you said, they're great because they come in like a third of a gram and then a full gram, and they're relatively inexpensive.
They are.
I mean, I want to say like a third of a gram is like $30.
Yeah. It was like, I think one was $30. So if you wanted to try it and you don't want to break your bank, you can try it a little bit. And that kind of leads me to like Muse. I know that's a new kind of a thing that you guys have been, telling us about. I happen to be very lucky. You guys had some Muse products that came into the Winter Park location just while I was there, and I got to snag one. And I will tell you right now, straight up and down, the Muse cart, I'm going to have to find what exactly it was. It was an indica strain, but that is the greatest, most creative strand of marijuana I've ever used. I sat there with my new guitar and noodled for about 4 hours and could not stop. It was like it was like a total creativity kind of a blast. There was like literally no sleepiness whatsoever, but it did make you want to create. So, and I think that's what Muse is kind of about, right? Isn't that more towards your creative types, your artists?
Correct. Yep. It's going to be to kind of unlock the inner muse is what we like to say, right? So that's going to be your creativity side. And so, like, it's great that you were using it and you were playing with your guitar and you were writing stuff down, and like maybe you need to start a new business plan or whatever. Like, it's just to be creative in general. So it's not specific to one thing like art. It can be literally just unlocking creativity within your own self. So that's good that you found something that you like. And it could be the terpene profile in it.
Yeah, it tastes good. Right? And then the cart is made out of all like a brushed gunmetal.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's very pretty. Like, it's like everything about it's kind of cool. Like, it's the aesthetics of even the cart. It's very fancy looking. Like, when you take it out, not to say that, but for somebody like me, that kind of stuff matters, right? Like the packaging. When you take it out and it's like all shiny and it looks super fancy, and then you screw it onto your little battery there. That I really loved it, man. I was like, these products are really, really good. I will say though, the only thing I will say is that they're kind of hard to find because people like them.
I know, and that's the thing. And so they're new. We just launched Muse, I think, in December. So it's a new in-house brand. So it's going to be one of our newest in-house brands. And then we have a few more coming to the market here in the next couple months, which I think everyone will be very excited about too. But that's what we're hearing is everyone is loving Muse. It's really unlocking their inner Muse, which we love to hear.
Yeah, it's cool.
And people are wanting it.
Yeah, I would say straight up and down the flavor profile of it, the terpenes, the how strong it was. It's not very strong. It just is very. I don't know. It carried a very heavy creative weight. It was very much for fun. It was designed for let's have some fun, and I was very happy about that.
So
I mean, we have. Have you guys looked into or heard about our live diamonds yet by Muse?
No.
I was looking at that last night because I don't believe that I have any type of apparatus or any equipment to use live diamonds. But so you've heard of, like, we've seen the butter and we've seen like crumble and stuff like that. Live diamonds to me, and you can correct me, Skyler, but it just looked like fancier, prettier, more pure crumble. It looked like pretty amber colored stones of I guess THC goodness. Is that?
Yeah, very similar. So the reason why they're called diamonds is because obviously that's a cannabis term in the industry. So we're the first one ever to launch it in Florida. But it's THCA covered concentrated product, right? So obviously when you think of a concentrate, like you said, you think of the live butter, you think of the crumble, you think of those sort of things. So very similar, but it's THCA, and then it's covered in that concentrate. So THCA is like a part of THC. That makes sense.
Man, we are dialing down this to the point where eventually people are going to say, like, I'm giving you pure. What is that? And no, it's just just pure. It's just the enunciation of the T. It's just it's not the T though. And you try that, and oh my God! I open up my, I'm musing all over the place.
Like, why is it glowing? It glows in the dark.
Because if you look at, you can go to their website and you can see the picture of it. It's very pretty. You know, like it doesn't look intimidating anymore. It's funny that the stigma is like it's coming around full circle. Whereas like now it just looks like a very beautiful rock. Maybe I shouldn't use this term rock. It looks like a diamond. Let's just go with diamond. I'll stick with
Yeah. That's why you're not in the marketing department, you idiot.
I'm not.
You'd be instantly fired by Skyler.
I'm smoking my weed rock.
Don't say that.
Don't. You're an idiot.
So, Skyler, is there like a team of scientists at Trulieve in the research department, fine tuning all this?
Yeah, so we actually have a research and development team. Like, essentially every single company has something similar to that and they're scientists. Like, the ones that I work with have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, doctorates in biology, chemistry, some sort of science. So these are people that definitely know what they're doing. It's funny because every time I talk to them, I'm like, science.
Yeah.
You know?
That's hilarious.
I'm like, okay, yeah, that's okay, but I mean, they know how to, make different products and the different chemical compounds and stuff like that. So yes, and I guess to answer your question in short, yes, we do.
And what's interesting too is like you also have botanists and plant experts working in conjunction with probably the research and development, and because it's all coming from a plant, so it's like. Yep. And then the different strains and the different ways that
you could consume,
that you could,
then it starts going in a million
crossbreed
different
the
directions.
plants, yeah. And so it's crazy how much they fine tuned it and how many great products there are, and that's the thing too. It's we talk about how you have the ultra strong, but there's also less powerful, less THC products,
or
more CBD,
kind of like Muse. Like you have specific areas that you can go in and stuff like that. One of the things that I'm starting to dabble in a little bit more is the cooking process too, because I love cooking. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start dabbling in a little bit more of that. Have you guys opened any more stores? I hate even asking because I know sometimes that drives you crazy.
We have not in the last week or so. I don't even think we definitely haven't opened anything in January, but we will be opening some stuff in February, and I'm sure we're going to be opening more and more throughout the rest of the year. We did open a store up in Philly. I think it's Philly. I'm pretty sure it was in Philly in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
So if anyone's listening there, we just opened up a store
we got
downtown.
listeners in Philly, downtown Philly, by the gum wall. Have you seen the Philadelphia gum wall? They have a wall where people go, or a gum tree, and you go by and you stick your gum on it. It's the most disgusting landmark.
There's a couple different cities.
It is literally the most disgusting landmark you could ever have. But before I knew what it was, I had some people take me to the Philly gum wall, and I was taking selfies. I'm putting my hands all over it, and they're like, that's gum. That's people's gum. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't notice that. It looks like gum. Now that you mention it, it looks like gum.
You're like, oh, wow, this actually is gum.
Yeah, it was gum.
There are a lot of trees that have become landmarks for people just putting trash on them.
Yeah. Trash trees.
All over the United States, there are a bunch of different
Disgusting
trash trees that exists where you either hang Mardi Gras beads over
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
or
Old motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, gum, or you put different trash on the tree, and then you're like, look
But
how
my
much
favorite,
trash tree.
But my favorite is a beautiful bridge where everybody goes and puts a padlock. That's my favorite.
Oh, the old lock bridge.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
lock bridge. You know what I
Which
want?
is just you locking your trash.
Yeah, you can't move my trash.
You're like, I'm gonna lock my trash on this bridge. So either
Bring the whole bridge down.
you throw your trash in a tree or lock it on a bridge.
That's what you do.
Sorry, Skyler. So
Okay.
any other things going on? I know over the holidays and the new year was crazy busy for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a kind of a general plan that for 2022? I know we got I know it's a while, but 420 is coming up. I know you guys are always doing something big for that. I'm sure everything's coming together for that event. Is correct?
Yeah, so we're going to have, obviously, fingers crossed, we're hopefully COVID gets out of the way, but we have a few large events happening. One is actually in Orlando, so the next time I'm on, we're finalizing things, so the next time I talk to everyone, I'll be able to share that, and then hopefully some people can attend. It's going to be really cool. It's at the fairgrounds, and that's like, I think they're expecting like 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so it's like a concert type thing, but all surrounding cannabis and education and that sort of thing. And then there's some other small events, and then we'll obviously have some really cool stuff in our stores. This month is all surrounding health and wellness, so we're really highlighting one-to-one products. I think you were talking about, how some products aren't super strong, so you can really use them for like a medical benefit. That would be like our one-to-one products or our ratio products. So we're really trying to educate people on those, how they can utilize those during the day and when they're working to focus. And obviously February, Black History Month, and sprinkling some love around as well, where it's Valentine's Day and doing some initiatives there. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. It's going to be a really busy year, especially now that we're growing. New products coming down the line. We're about to launch live diamonds in the market here soon, and then we also launched True Tonic last month, which it feels like, I guess I could technically say last year, right? But it's essentially like Crystal Light packets with cannabis in it.
You just mix in,
Oh, I remember when Crystal Light used to be the key to my weight loss journey. I was like, this Crystal Light is going to make me a fit boy.
And also,
Make you super thin.
we want to remind everybody that if you purchase anything at Trulieve and you submit the form on tomandan.com.
Oh, we urge you to. We like to giving you stuff, giving you free stuff.
We've got a bunch of new things, giveaways from Trulieve, including that green Trulieve beanie. Have you seen that?
I do not have one yet.
You'll get that mailed to you. Plus,
it's pretty darn cool.
A BDM license plate that you can't use because no one in Florida has front license plates.
We'll talk about that. It could be a rolling tray.
We got a rolling tray. We got some new stuff Eric told me, and you'll get that for free mailed to you. All you have to do is buy anything at Trulieve and submit the form on tomandan.com, and you get that for free, plus some stickers and stuff like that. Skyler, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Obviously, we'll talk to you next month, and we'll find out about new store openings and some, the events you were talking about.
Of course. You guys have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, you too. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
That's our friend and contact Skyler over at Trulieve. We love her very, very much.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Our producer, Samantha, is here. Good evening, Samantha.
Good evening.
Second time saying good evening. I'm a professional broadcaster.
We have a guest in studio. This gentleman wrote a book, and he's good at marketing because he came by
early
yesterday, I believe,
to drop the book by.
Dropped the book off, and before we start, did your publicist set this up, or are you your own publicist, right?
No, I wrote this. This happened in 2008, and I've been writing it for such a long time. And I'm a storyteller, for one thing. I'm not a writer. So I've had it for a long time, and I decided, how can I get it out? I found a publisher, an editor up in New Jersey that put it all together for me. So it's doing well. out on Amazon, all these different places, New Zealand, England, all. And I'm really happy.
Well, you should introduce him for. We're doing this
Sorry.
all backwards.
Oh gosh, yeah.
No, you're good. You're fine, Carrie. We keep it light here, man. You're fine, Carrie.
I think Tom was trying to ask how Kerry found our podcast
Yeah,
and radio show.
And it just started spiraling out of control.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do interviews really poorly.
He's not
No,
great
it's
at it.
fine. There's no rules here. We do it the way we want to do it.
Okay, but
So how did you find our podcast, Kenny?
Yeah, because I got an email from him.
Yeah, here's the deal. I'm a salesman, so I keep pushing until I get what I want or get a door slammed in my face. So, but you were talking.
You wanted to slam the door in his face. I saw that in your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
So I have social anxiety, believe it or not. So I'm an introvert. But I found my son told me about a stuff called Kratom. Okay.
No!
Magnet.
Did
It's
you
a
bring some?
magnet.
Did I bring some?
You got some in your car? I need it, Kenny.
Let's
I
all
do.
put Kratom in our butts.
I do, but I mean, I'm 72 years old. Okay, so he sees my dad. You got to try this.
Dad, you gotta try this stuff, man. It'll blow your
So-
tits off, Dad.
Yeah. So anyway, I ended up going.
Have you
to-
done Kratom yet, bro?
Yeah.
You gotta Kratom up, man.
Yeah.
It's helping me get off the pain pills, Dad.
Yeah. And so what happened is that I started going to Kratom bars.
Yes, Kratom bars. You went
Wait
to
a
the bar,
minute.
Carrie. I've never been to a Kratom bar. We did
yeah.
it here in Shane.
Oh,
we
I thought
would
he
do
meant
it.
like a protein bar, but a Kratom
No, you go to a bar and people like
Well,
it's
a
like
kava bar. Let's do it that way.
a kava
bar.
Kava
okay.
bar is just a hipster's way of saying a Kratom bar, and you go there and you all like zombies. You do it together. Carrie, we used to do it the craziest way. We would take a white spoon, a scoop of it,
That's how I do it now.
the red Sumatra or whatever. We put it in there, and then I just funnel it down. And I'd be like, God damn it, it's like a pain pill. Let's do this. Let's go, Brandon.
But it was hard to gag down.
Yeah,
Kenny.
but I've gotten good at it. I
yeah.
used to breathe it in and cough for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's us.
And then we cough.
Yeah, we
dust.
cough.
And then our
And then we
cleaning
look like-
ladies would be like,
Yeah.
oh, my God.
Yeah, what's going on in that room over there?
Yeah,
That man's
yeah.
dying.
Yeah, then I have to hide it from my wife when she came.
But anyway, you asked me how we came to this. So
You were high on
learned-
Kratom and found our
yes,
podcast.
I learned.
Kenny, go get your Kratom. Let's do some
Let's
Kratom
do
one
it.
more
I
time.
One more scoop.
Yeah, one scoop.
One scoop
I
for
met
the
a whole
road.
new generation of people because I'm basically shy, and these people are half my age. They took me in and
Kratom party.
Yeah, we started talking, and I said, I've just,
You know what would make
I've
this
written
party great, man?
I've
If
written
we
this-
had our own old man.
Yeah, our old mentor, a mentor.
Yeah.
Kratom Kenny.
It's
But
Sorry,
I've written.
Carrie.
So I said I've written a book, and I'd like to find someone who can do a podcast. And the guy there said, Tom and Dan.
Tom and
man,
Dan.
No, yeah,
mediocre.
we're big in
Well,
the
we're Kratom
community.
community. We
Yeah.
are.
So,
Yeah.
so he says, I listen to you all the time, and you need to do that. So I went online. I sent an email.
You
I
did.
did this. I did that. Got a hold of nobody. So I said, I'll just go right
Sounds
down.
like us.
I'll go
Okay,
right-
on brand.
Yeah,
on
right now
brand.
you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
I go right down the emails, and somebody will call me back. And Sam,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Travis called you back. He loves Kratom. I got
he
it.
didn't answer emails.
Carrie, I'm so happy you brought up Kratom. I couldn't be more happier. I'd
It's
forgotten
the
about
magnet.
it. I'd forgotten about it.
yeah, well, I haven't.
Just go and mark this. Just go and mark this as my favorite. This is
All
like,
right.
I needed a good laugh. This has been a rough week. It's
So-
been a crazy
Well, good
week.
for you.
And I
So-
needed you to be here with your positivity, man. I
Got
needed
it,
you
man.
today.
Good.
Carrie, let's plug your book because
All right.
Carrie
Yeah.
Edwards is here.
Here it is.
He
You
wrote
can
a
buy it.
book called The Taxi Chronicles.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
Yes, you can indeed. I would urge you to. It's a 2-hour read.
Yeah.
Put some money in his pocket to help him out.
So, Carrie, tell us about the book. How did this come about?
All right, 2008, the recession came, and I was a salesman, and everybody was dropping like flies, all their jobs, homes, everything, and I was into cleaning roofs, and people were losing their homes and didn't want to clean the roofs. I said, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So I decided I better find something else to bring money in.
Yeah.
And
Sell Kratom.
yeah, so I tried to bartend because I was a bartender before. I was too old, and so forth. And there was an ad to drive a taxi, and I'll give that a shot. So as I'm driving the taxi, learning everything, it's all in the book how hard it really is. Me having social anxiety and growing up on TV, I developed 20 or 30 different personalities, voices, New York accent, things like that. To talk to people from New York, if my customers would come in, I could say,
how you doing?
How you doing?
Wait a minute, is this?
It's my dad.
Older
This is
man?
my dad.
Yeah. I am looking
God.
at you.
You know,
He's a little mixture
Carrie,
of both of you. The
when-
Kratom.
This is our son.
The voices.
Oh, Daniel did Kratom
Yeah.
too.
This
Why
is-
does everybody just blame me for
'Cause
it?
you did more.
You were
did it.
addicted. You were addicted.
No,
You were
everybody
addicted.
did it. No,
You're
everybody
the
did
only
it.
person that after we all swore it away, you were the only person still going
he
to the
was
drawer.
hiding it.
Well, there's 2 more weeks
Carrie,
and
he
then I
would
threw
go
it
to
away.
the drawer. He would go to the drawer and he didn't think we could hear him. And
Yeah.
he'd go to the drawer and I'd hear it and then he'd drop the fucking spoon. Sorry. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Sam. He
okay.
would drop the spoon on the table and I'd be like, "Are you in there doing Kratom anymore?" You got me. You got me. Green handed.
I didn't know I was supposed to hide it. I thought everybody was cool with it. And then all of a sudden
Yeah.
you guys stopped doing it. And I was like, well, I'll
Well,
keep
I had
doing
to
it.
stop doing it because
I'm
my
like, I'll do whatever I want. I'm a
my
grown man.
gastroenterologist said it was affecting my liver.
No,
Yeah.
that's
You
All
got to
right,
drink a
everybody
lot.
stop cursing.
Yes, you
Sorry.
got to drink a lot of water. I found out.
Oh.
Gotta drink a lot. Gotta hydrate yourself.
I don't drink water. I only drink Mountain Dew.
That'll work too.
Oh,
You
man.
Ghost
gotta
energy
hydrate
drink.
yourself.
I used to do it before I worked out. I passed out almost a couple times.
Carrie,
I think
you
that's
know
why
what?
I almost had the
I don't
heart
know when
attack.
you do it, but I like to do it right before I pump my wife because I feel
Yeah.
like I get a couple extra. You know, ow!
Yeah. Well, you lucky you have a wife. 'Cause I've been
Carrie.
through 4. And,
Well, hey, you getting it done.
Yeah.
You know, but.
More divorces
So
just means you got a bigger
I
ding dong.
started driving a taxi, and me being an introvert, which you wouldn't know now, but I am an introvert, shy. Whenever I had a situation, I would use a voice that I could slip into and become a different character. All of a
I
sudden,
like to buy some of your Kratom, sir.
yeah. So as I was going on, a tense situation came up in the book, and I didn't know what to do. And a Clint Eastwood character came out that I had never practiced. I'd seen him on television 100 times.
So this was a new character that kind of manifested
It
itself, and
manifest-
you had never done that voice. It was just speaking to you organically?
Yes.
Now, is
And
this Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Clint Eastwood or Gran Torino Wood?
Or
No.
it could be that this chair
Dirty
is
Harry.
a liberal, like, remember the chair? He's talking to the
The
chair
chair.
and a glass of
No,
water.
yeah,
Could be
yeah,
that
No,
one.
it's dirty. It's a Dirty Harry.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. So I was in a situation with a client, and I was there were some guys running at me, and I didn't know what to do. And he came out and said, "All right, sons of bitches, we're gonna go and do this." I went, who is this? And I grabbed a baseball bat.
Oh, my God,
went out-
Carrie.
Hold on, you
That
turned
escalated fast.
You turned into Clint Eastwood.
Yes,
You
I did.
grabbed the baseball bat. Why were they running at you?
Because I had their
You had to
wife.
crate 'em.
I was a taxi driver. I had their wife. She had a fight, and I was bringing her home, and so they had followed
That's
me
a
back.
good way to get killed, Carrie.
Hey, money's money. And when
No, I
it
got
comes to
you.
recession-
I like
heard
this
that.
guy.
Now we're back to Tom Van.
You know what? You're hired. Are you here for Butler's position? You're hired.
He's a sales guy.
when you're hot,
I heard all I needed to hear. This
Yeah.
man has
Yeah.
the goods.
I'd go in the neighborhoods that I said I got to go. Nobody else would go in there. I got to go in there. Suspect neighborhoods, and I'd go in there. I said I got to make that $2.50 if they're going down the block. But so this anyway. After this happened, I drove off the side of the road, and I said, "What happened here?" And then,
Were you covered in blood?
No.
Killed everyone.
I broke
Did you
one
black
guy,
out during
I
the
broke
murders?
one guy's arm.
Oh, my God.
And I said, "You guys got knives? This is going to be easy." This voice
Oh
was
my
coming
God.
out of me.
You said you're beating people with a bat. You're like, you guys got knives? Because this is going to be easy.
This is true. I'm telling you, but this is all true stuff. Okay, this is all true. This is true.
I
So,
believe you.
so anyway,
Never believe a
drive
man.
on- I drive
Never say a man's a liar if he only owns one shirt. My dad always said that.
All righty then. So I pulled off the side of the road, and I was
Jim
shaking.
Carrey. That's what you do there.
I was shaking. Yes. All righty then.
Oh,
But
better.
I was shaking, and then his voice. I didn't do his voice, but his voice in my head said, "Well, are you going to thank me? Are you going to thank me for saving your life?" And so I said, "Okay." Anyway, so it was over, and I said, "Maybe it'll never happen again."
Yeah.
as the days went on, I would get into characters and stay in characters and for whatever situation was, and it's very tiring to do a situation. I would wear this shirt.
Well, it's emotional, right?
Yes, and I'd wear this hat because I want to be different than all the other cabbies because they were all slovenly dressed, and then
Sure.
I would give my card to them. And
Fancy it up a little bit.
So one time I couldn't find an address in an apartment. It was hard to find, and one time Sean Connery comes out.
Oh, so
Of
Kerry,
the apartment?
Out of the closet, yeah.
Oh, so
I realized he was
Sean Connery was so comfortable with Kratom Carrie that he came out to you. He's like, I'm Guy.
Yes, yeah, she came out, yeah.
Whopper Jr.
Mate,
So,
I'm Guy.
Kerry, just to rewind and just so
I'm good.
all of our
Yeah.
listeners follow.
Yes.
So you wrote a book about being a taxi driver during the recession.
It's called The Taxi Chronicles. You can get Who's Really Driving the Cab by Carrie Edwards. You can get it on Amazon. I'm going to give that a big fat plug.
And they all are about, like, the book is about your experiences being a taxi driver and these things you went through and these characters you turned into during these experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And the last, and I know you're on a time constraint. So
That's fine. No, keep going.
Yeah. Hey, we'll go as long as we can, but we've
Okay.
got Miss Pat
Miss
scheduled to
Pat,
be on here. But
and by the way, I wanna have
if we
you
run
back
out
on.
of time, you're coming back.
I-
If you will have us, if you'll come back.
Hey, baby, I love this stuff.
All right. Hey, baby, I love you too.
So, but I decided, Clint came out whenever I needed him is what happens.
And for situations you needed a
That's
badass.
your- That's your confidence.
I'm shy. I'm not a fighter. But he would come out and say, you got to have the balls and stand up to this guy, you know. And
Oh my God, you need this. You need a Clint Eastwood in your brain.
But he would come out, you know, I didn't ask him to. He would just come out and the situation got taken care of.
Can you control?
No, I couldn't.
So you have no control over Clint entering
No.
your space at
Yes.
the time, your
Yeah,
mental space, I should
And
say.
he would, and here I am at 60 at the time,
Sure.
trying to make my way through life, and he would get me into fights
Oh no.
that for one thing, most important, he thinks he is Clint Eastwood and he cannot be killed. So
He doesn't have any idea that he's inside of you.
Your other personality.
Yeah,
God,
so
this
he
is-
gets me into situations,
Could be
doesn't
problematic.
know, doesn't know, so I have to learn how to protect myself, martial arts and etc. To say if I'm going to get in trouble, I've got to learn to protect myself.
Do you know martial arts?
No, but he lives 4 streets down.
Oh, that's funny.
No,
Could we send you
Great old
to-
man joke, Kenny.
I loved it. Could we send you to? We have a martial arts
Kerry's
partner.
right.
Are you familiar with Seth Petrozelli?
No, I'm not.
He's an MMA fighter here in town.
Okay.
He will train you for free.
He will train you for free at the. It's on Colonial. It's called the Jungle MMA. You can stop by in there anytime. Just ask the front receptionist. We'll set it up for free.
But as you're reading the book, you'll see that I'm smart enough to know that I'm too old to learn a lot of things. I had to learn pressure points, carry a nightstick that's folding up and down, different things that I know I can
All you
protect
need is one of
myself.
those little pokers they sell at the bodegas. It's like a little aluminum, like eyeball poker with like little.
But anyway,
grips on it.
So I decided. I hadn't heard from him for a while, so I guess I'm doing good. I'm handling myself, and I said today. I've decided I'm going to be a character that I've done a lot. I'm going to be him all day, because I would dress this, but I came with a white shirt, a bow tie. And I was going to be Jerry Lewis from The Nutty Professor all day to all my customers.
Okay, all right.
You do that.
All right, so let me just do this real quick.
Uh-oh.
All right.
And I love that he's about to do Jerry Lewis with a leaf blower outside.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, we are the greatest show on this station. No one can top our entertainment. We got the leaf blower in the corner. We got Crazy Kratom Carrie on the couch. Nobody can beat us. Nobody can top us. We are the kings of entertainment. We are your gods. We are your gods now.
Now, I like to talk to you a little bit about when I was driving a taxi, you see, and I had some people that were giving me a hard time, and I would have to show them most of
More leaf blower, please.
More
Can we
leaf
get more
blower.
leaf? Yep.
I don't mind leafblowers, but they are essential in this time and age of things, as you understand.
Why do you have tears in your eyes, Tom?
He's crying.
His tears in his eyes.
But I just
Getting emotional.
So I had to do this character all day long, and it was quite tiring, I must say.
More leaf, please.
Yes,
Bring up the leaf.
I must say, yes. And
Okay, Carrie.
Dare did you do it with the teeth?
Yeah.
All day.
All day in the cab.
That's gonna rub
All
your
day.
gums.
Wow.
That's gonna rub your gums raw.
And I didn't care how much money I made. I was making $75 a day, and that's all. It's terrible. If you read the book, you'll see how hard it is to make money, because sometimes you wait in line, and you'll only get.
That's a leaf blower outside.
Power through, Tom.
Is the guy done?
This is
What is
goddamn
that?
sea breeze all over again.
Get the planes through here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Get the planes through
There's
here.
nothing
Carrie,
to
it's
blow.
out.
There's nothing to blow.
No leaves.
There's no. You're blowing the concrete away at this point.
Move on.
Jesus Christ. We got Carrie in here.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, what other situations did you get into?
What is other situations? I got a call, and then my little pad in front of me tells me as soon as you go into a sector, you drop to the bottom. So if there's 3 other people in front of you, once they get jobs, they're gone. You become to the top.
Okay.
So my thing came up. There's an address. I said, okay. I pushed the button. I'm going to take it. I go there. And
Are you high on kratom? Is that when you do the scoop? Like when you hit the button, you're like,
No, let me
God, I
tell
miss
you.
the scoop.
You take the weed pill before you leave the house.
No, let me tell
Yeah.
you. But let me tell you a better one.
Please.
I was cruising in the cab for
Cruising down the street in my 6 phone.
for
Oh, I'm
customers
sorry.
by the convention center. I saw this guy weigh me down, and he got in it. He says, "Hey, can you take me to where there's dancing girls?"
Oh, that was you.
I said, "Yeah."
What were you doing out away from your wife? So you're picking up Tom,
I
and
was
he's like, let's do kratom and go strip club.
I was thinking, why is this guy whispering? I mean, But anyway, yes. So I took him to. Can I say the place?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
took him to the dollhouse.
Yeah. I got a hand job there, Carrie.
Yeah, right, yeah. Only one? But
I love his joke. I love it.
So I dropped him off. I said, "Here's my card. Call me whenever He was a doctor. He was a dentist from Chicago. Call me when you need a ride back." So 2 hours later, I get a call. There was the manager saying, "You need to come pick your ride up here," and so forth. So I go there.
Hey, Clint Eastwood, come get your boy.
So he's drunk, laying in the parking lot, okay, crying and everything else. I'm trying to get him in the back of it. I said, "What's the matter?" He says, "They took all my money. They took all my money. I went in there with $2,000. They took all my money, and then they went to the ATM, and then I got $500."
You did that.
So
That's
then
true.
he
You
said,
did do it.
he said, "This is all true. I want to kill myself." I said, so I pulled off. I said, "Listen, you don't have to do this for money." And he immediately took out a green object and started doing this, cutting his wrists.
Oh my God, he had kryptonite. Real.
Oh my God.
So anyway, I grabbed it out of his hand and he passed out.
What was the green thing? Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So as we're going, I went through his wallet and found a psychiatrist up in Chicago, and I called him. And the funny thing, the guy said, "Hello,
Can I help you?
It sounded just like Jerry Lewis. And here's a man trying to commit.
My God, it was Jerry Lewis.
Trying to commit suicide in the back of my cab, and the doctor sounds like Jerry Lewis. And I needed the break of humor.
Lavid, pretty lady.
Did you put in your teeth and be like, "I got you now"?
I speak your language, sir.
I needed the break of humor to calm me down. And I said, "Why is this man down here?" He says, "Well, he was fine. He wanted to go to dinner, but." And I said,
"That's how you talk, by the way. Blah 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 blah."
He said, "What am I supposed to do?" He said, "Do a tapping solution on his head. Put your hand on your head." This is true.
Tapping solution.
Yeah, you put your fingers between his head. You tap on for about 30 seconds, and he has a message that he had post hypnotic suggestion that he passes out. He says, "Then take him to the hospital."
So he taught you how to put this gentleman
into a trance,
sort of hypnosis, until you got him to the hospital.
Yeah, and I said, "Doctor, he says, the doctor says the green thing is his slashing for attention. Okay, you see all the scars on his arm. The ones that are really scars are from his red knife. Thank God he didn't have the red knife with him. So
all of my knives are kind of silver with black handles.
It's so weird. The doctor knew about.
He had the green light knife and the red light knife.
Yeah, but this is just one of the. There's so many different characters, different situations.
You get any ladies of ill repute in your taxi?
Sure.
You get a.
Okay, let me tell you this quick.
Please.
All right,
we got time.
So I'm driving into a place that I'm not supposed to be in a suspect neighborhood at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
And there's a shambled house, and there's a bunch of women on.
Castleberry.
And I can smell their perfume from the
definitely
cab.
Castleberry, yeah.
So
sounds like a whorehouse in here.
This big black man comes waddling out. Okay, comes waddling out, and he has one of those devices he has to put up top.
Oh, God, he had a trach.
Yeah, trach, whatever.
Yeah, the trach mic.
What the hell you doing here, mother ever?
Yeah, and so I tried to be nice, like I always do.
You cracker ass! Get your cracker ass off my property, you white bread, grandpa looking MF.
So I said, listen, I'm your driver. How can I help you? He says, I need some money for my hose.
Of course he did.
I said, what? I need some money for my hose.
Were they nappy-headed, Ivan?
I said, do you mean whores? He says, yeah, hose. And I look over there, and there's about 6 women on this porch. And you can smell the perfume coming
wafting.
my way.
Mm-mm.
So he says, I need to go around the bank and get some, and Sean and
I need hoe money.
Sean and Clint are up here.
Oh, Sean.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Or are they bad like the devil and
Not pretty
angel?
hatchet hose.
Yeah, I was saying, Clint, I said, you guys need to help me out here. He says, no, you can handle this yourself, okay? So
This man needs hoe
we
money.
drove around the block. I got a $2.50 job, and I went, okay, for all this. He says, I like you. I want. Would you? How much would I charge me to have your cab all day? I said $500. He said done. I went,
wow.
oh shit. Step in it now, and. Plus
Well, you could have said, you know what?
No.
I have diarrhea.
But here's the thing. He says, let me have your card. And I wrote the wrong phone number on there because, and I almost wrote the right one because I was looking down the rabbit hole.
I know that means.
Looking down the rabbit hole. I said,
which one of these rabbit holes do you want?
No, but it all talks about money. $500 a day for driving girls around, and I have a 12-hour shift, 10 in the morning, 10 at night. I could make $500, fix all my money problems and such, and wrong number, and I drove off. But I enjoyed looking down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes all I need to do is look down it and just I'll take care of
Oh
myself.
yeah, I kind of like it.
I don't need
down
to be
there.
in the rabbit hole. Just take a peek, remember it's still there.
But these are all true stories. Okay?
I love it.
Yep.
These are all true stories.
And again, the name of the book is The Taxi Chronicles, Who is Really Driving the Cab by Carrie Edwards. You can get it on Amazon, Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
Awesome.
It's on Barnes & Noble.
And we are up against a break, so
Okay,
we need to get out of here.
just
Oh,
one-
he's got to
just
go!
Just one question.
I almost
I'm
ran
at-
out of here.
Did I get you?
I have a book signing. Can I talk about
Yeah,
it?
please.
It's going to be Saturday the 29th. My books they're having a problem getting them down here because of COVID up north.
Oh, God.
At the Healthy Buddha. I'm sure if you know Kratom,
The
only Buddha in town.
345 North Orange Avenue. And it is on the 29th between 3 and 5.
There you go.
Carrie, I will personally give a prize to any BDM that goes out.
Yeah, get your book
to
signed.
the Healthy Buddha.
Get
does
your book signed by
Kratom.
Carrie. Do some Kratom, and we'll send you a prize. I'm on board with that. We'll send you something good.
But you got to take a picture of it and put it on the
With
BDM
Carrie.
page.
Try to take it.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
I might be talking 1,000 miles an hour, but
You'll be nervous and it'll be exciting, but
Yeah.
you'll have a great time.
I'll have a great
Hey,
time.
thanks for your time today and being candid and putting up with us doing voices and acting stupid. This is what we do.
That's what I do.
Will you come back?
Carrie.
Sure.
Cool.
Do you want a job?
Yes, I was in
I
radio.
thought we weren't actively hiring.
And we got to get out of here. We got Miss Pat.
I'm just.
I went into radio to do voices.
Yeah.
I went to Career Academy of Broadcasting, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's where Lee went.
Yeah, and but I went into to do voices, and I came down to WRL in Orlando. I did Sunday tapes and religious. I said I'm not getting anywhere. Nobody would help me, but yeah, if you offer me something,
listen,
baby, I am.
I got you.
Yeah, I would really like to do this. Yes, I would. Yeah. Huh?
This is what we need, Daniel.
Yeah.
This is
Really?
what we
Another me? I mean, I'm old. I have a beard. I do voices. I kind of feel like I'm being pushed out of this way.
Yeah. But you'll, $500.
Carrie
down the
is
rabbit
a little
hole.
cheaper than me, I will say.
Yeah, I want to show you the rabbit hole, Carrie.
Don't look at Tom's rabbit hole. You don't want to see that.
All right. So, Carrie, we'll talk to you again because you're great on the show.
Yeah, thank you for your time, man. We'll take a quick break and come back with more A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan right after this.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Our guest today, she's going to be at the Improv this weekend. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. TheImprovOrlando.com.
Easiest way to get your tickets. Sam, you're going out. I'm going out. We're going to do some date night action. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line with us via the Zoom is Miss Pat. How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing? Kind of with the good weather and all the other stuff that's in the air.
Yeah. Well, because we got the humidity, the everything kind of hangs in there, including all diseases. It's just everything just hangs in the air.
Nothing wrong with that.
Miss Pat, I have to ask you a question, and it involves toughening up my sons. Okay, because
oh Lord,
because I've been on this quest to try to make my sons tough, but they've got such an easy life that it's nearly impossible to toughen them up when they live so easily. It's hard to manufacture fake adversity for them to go through.
We use the term grit around here a lot, and our children just don't have any.
Yeah, and I know that you are a super tough person, and what you went through.
Strong.
And so, I mean, people can read your bio, and if they know about you, they know.
Snag a book.
And so, is it possible to ever be as close to as tough as you are without going through the things you went through?
Yeah, the first step that I always tell white people who pay me $200 to toughen up their kids. Your first step is you gotta stop fixing them snacks, okay? Y'all
he cuts their grapes
to they 35.
Miss Pat,
stop that crap.
Miss Pat, he cuts his
They love
son's grapes.
snacks.
He cuts his son's grapes in half.
No,
they can
Yes,
choke
he
on
does.
them.
That's why he's so soft.
Yeah,
because he's never had a whole grape go down his throat.
that's right.
So,
You have
gotta
to.
stop. Wait, look, where I live at, they fix their kids' snacks. My friend is dating this lady, and I hate to do color shit, but she's white, and her son is in college. She was like, "Do you want me to fix you a snack?" I'm like, hey, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, Miss Pat, I was going to ask you that because
you did say you still dry them. He still puts on their little underpants.
Well,
They're 6 and 7.
You dress them, right? Like
No,
little dolls.
I
They're
mean,
your little dolls.
it's just when they're too tired, I will help
Too
them.
tired. Wake your ass up.
They sleep in his bed. They're 6 and 7.
What?
Oh
What's wrong
man.
with you?
See, it's not the
This how
kids,
you
it's
start about
you.
toughen them up. You take your foot and kick them on the floor. Get the hell out of here. Me and your mom about to play hide and go seek.
So, Miss Pat, I wonder if, as you come up and get more and more famous and more rich, right? I imagine that
Get that scratch.
you start hanging out with people that are rich, and then rich people usually have spouses that may be they've been rich their whole life, and you're around a lot of people where I'm sure you look and you're like, why are you so weak? Because they grew up not as tough as you did.
Yeah, because you're strong and rich, which is that's the best rich.
Yes, yeah. So,
I mean, I see people from, all types of money. I still keep my old friends too, because old friends keep you grounded. So, I mean, when I go over somebody's rich house and their kid is walking on their countertop, and I'll be like, you just gonna let that kid walk on their fucking countertop? You ain't gonna uppercut the shit out that kid. You ain't gonna run that kid head into the refrigerator softly, but don't hurt him. You know, let him know. Don't you walk on my motherfucking $10,000 countertop. You just gonna let your kid go in the refrigerator any time of day and drink a half of water and leave it on the counter. Oh, you better drink all that water and put your tongue in that water bottle.
Every drop.
Yeah. So what you're telling me, Miss Pat, it's the parents' fault.
Yeah, I'm telling you to toughen up. You need to take them kids on a practice drive-by.
Oh my God.
Well, I think the problem, Miss Pat, is that I'm weak too, so I'm just having so that's where
I'm glad you said that, but I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, so Miss Pat,
you hit the nail on the head. The number of times that I've been to a rich person's house in Marble County and seen their kids standing where they shouldn't it's off the charts. I've seen that 100,000 times. That is so accurate.
And hitting flips off their furniture, walking over their furniture. You know, your dog sitting on the furniture. I was born in the 70s. You just didn't do that to my mama raggedy furniture. Yeah. That was just certain. My granddaddy kept a change on the refrigerator that you pull the car with. You wasn't not allowed to go in that refrigerator any time of day. And even with my kids now, I don't allow them. You're not just gonna sit and eat up all my food. You ain't got no job.
Oh my God, this is a better way of living.
Well, I used to tell my son, don't smoke weed because I don't get enough food stamps for you. So don't smoke weed. I can't put you on the stamps twice. So why you going to increase your appetite? These people have rationed out the appetites of this house. And you going to go outside the appetite realm? Don't get high. I'm going to blow you high every time you walk in the house.
Miss Pat, what about the rich people and their pee-pee dogs? Because this is something Daniel does.
I'm not rich, but I have two little old dogs. My mom passed away, so I got her dog. It's 15. And then I got a West Highland Terrier that I love. He's my boy, but I've had him, and they're both 15 years old. But they both have reached that point where their only value to me is to walk around and pee and poop. They just everywhere.
Yeah.
I still love them, but they're peeing everywhere.
Rich people have tiny pee-pee dogs pee-peeing their mansion up.
You know, I don't understand how people, like I was just telling somebody, I said, yeah, you know, we see animals different. You know, y'all will go and adopt a dog with no back legs, rolling across the floor like a roach. If the dog can't protect me, I'm sorry. I just can't get one of them little cute dogs and dress them up. And first of all, I don't have enough money for dogs and kids anyway. So my hat goes off to you if you got animals. Because back in the day, you could tie the animal to the tree. Whatever you didn't want to eat, you could throw it to the dog. You can't do that no more. You go to jail.
Yeah, you will.
So if your dog poo-pooed and pee-peeing over the house, sir, it might be time for you to turn your dog into a wreath.
Yeah, no, I know. I've had that conversation with my wife where I'm like, I'm tired of these. I want to get a dog that does something because these dogs, they don't do anything. They just kind of like walk around and pee and poop. Now, I love them and everything, but if they were
gone...
Who
cleans it up? Your housekeeper?
No, I don't know. Me and the wife.
Yeah.
Normally my wife.
Not rich enough to have someone else do it.
No doggy pepper on the dog?
I don't like the way that looks. And I don't like the way that looks. I want people to see me with my dogs without a diaper on my dog, because I think if you put a diaper on your dog, I think that might be even worse than even having the dog in the first place.
Yeah.
You don't want nobody to know your dog should be in the old folks' home. He's a senior citizen.
Yeah, they should have that. Where I could just go visit it, and then right before, like my grandfather, he's like, I visit it, and right before he asked me to play checkers for Danish butter cookies, I can haul ass because I don't want to play checkers.
Yeah, putting a diaper on your dog and then carrying it around is telling everybody you love wasting money.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You're never going to see me with a handicapped dog. Okay? Hey, if it don't come with a parking sticker, I don't need it.
We have one right out here. We have a, what do you call it? A Basset Hound. The one that has and Miss Pat, it's got the PVC wheels in the back, so its front legs work, but its back legs, it's in a PVC wheelchair, and it just drags its PVC wheelchair down the street.
Jesus Christ.
It's right out here.
I think both of y'all weak. One for little boys and one for dogs. Y'all need to toughen up the dogs and the kids.
We do.
Miss, how have you enjoyed the Pat Down podcast? And by the way, you could find that anywhere podcasts are heard. How have you enjoyed podcasting so far?
when I first decided to get started, Joe Rogan kind of pushed me into it. I was like, I really don't have time for this, but it grew an audience, so now it's kind of fun. So I'm having a good time with it. My fans are loyal. They come back every week, and I thought I didn't have nothing to say, and I learned out I do have a lot to say every damn week. Things go on in my life, so I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
And congratulations on the Miss Pat show on BET Plus and getting the second season going. That's awesome.
Thank you. And this Friday, they're moving the first season over to Paramount.
Oh, great.
I know a lot of people have that because of Yellowstone, so now you'll be able to, grab Miss Pat's show and catch up and get ready for season 2.
And you have a Netflix special that's supposed to come out this year, right? Do you know when that's coming out yet?
It's coming out soon.
Okay. All right. So keep your eyes open.
Very soon.
And I know there's so many behind the business, scenes business stuff that you can't talk about it. But how is it working with Netflix in general? I mean, it just they become a giant billion-dollar corporation, just like any other network, right?
Netflix is great. I have other projects with them also. So I mean, they're great. I mean, they stepped in. They gave me my first hour special. They went all out to make sure it was great. I worked my behind off, and I'm quite sure, Wonder Sites produced it. Her company worked their behind off. Robert Townsend is the director of it. Wow. So, we all came together, and hopefully we put out something magical. I mean, to me, it's pretty funny. I like it. I worked on that set for a year and a half to make sure it was tight as I could get it. So I'm hoping people take it in and really enjoy it.
I love talking to comedians or artists or creatives like you, where you said something interesting there. You said, I like it. It's all right. You didn't try to oversell it. And it's hard for me to believe it's not going to be a home run with you because we love you and we think you're super funny. Robert Townsend, Wanda Sykes. Are you kidding me? It doesn't get any bigger than that, right? I mean, for me, when you say that, I like hearing that, and I like the sort of the humbleness in your voice to say, I like it. It's okay. I like that because I think that's real because I don't know. I'm excited about it, and to hear two legendary people working with you, what was it like working with two people that, those guys are bigger than most, right?
Yeah, Wonder Sites was great. I picked her, her company, and I came together to produce it. They was very hand-on. I had a really good time working with them. Robert Townsend, I'm his third special he ever shot. He shot one for Bill Cosby. He shot Raw for Eddie Murphy. Yeah. I hope I'm correct. I know he shot Eddie Murphy's first special. Then he shot one for Bill Cosby, and I'm his third one. So just to be in that genre of comedians that who he's directed is wow. When I asked him, I just knew he was gonna say no, but he ended up saying yes.
That's crazy. I wonder, it's and I also admire you saying that that you asked him. I think a lot of people though would be so. Maybe they wouldn't want to ask, right? I don't want to bother him, or maybe he'll say no. But I like the idea, and there's your grit. I like the grit of being tough enough to say no. The worst he could do is say no, and then you ask, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'd love to do." And then you're like, "Oh Lord, here we go."
I always say the closed mouths don't get fed.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
Like you said, all they can do is say no. It's even like when the pilot of the Miss Pat show, Debbie Allen shot that.
Wow.
And when my co-creator was like, let's see if Debbie Allen want to shoot the pilot. I was like, Debbie Allen, boy, are you crazy?
Yeah.
She don't know us. We're not famous. He said, well, let's ask. We asked her, and she was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so, it turned out great. She built a platform for the Miss Pat show, and we was able to keep it going, because she's just so busy with Grey's Anatomy. She coming back. She's going to direct the second season, part of it. But, closed mouth don't get fed, guys. All you got to do is ask. No matter who or how big or how famous, if I need money and I'm running out of gas, Will Smith, give me $20.
Have you done that yet? He's got it.
But there's your lesson of the day. Other people, I love it when stupid radios and podcasts, they well, Miss Pat, do you have anything that you want to tell somebody to inspire them to get into No, that's more worth, in my world, what she just said carries more weight.
Just ask.
Yeah, and that you can apply that to anything, not even comedy. It's just don't be scared. Just give it a shot,
Miss Pat,
and that's what it's all about.
I got one last question. How do you choose what city you film your Netflix special in? Because I'm always curious of why certain comedians choose city. Like sometimes
vibe.
It's where they're the biggest or their hometown, or sometimes it's random. It seems like. How did you choose the city?
I chose Atlanta because I'm from Atlanta. My TV show is shot in Atlanta. I'm born and raised in Atlanta.
Yes.
I dropped out of school. I sold crack in Atlanta. Everything is Atlanta to me. So I chose where it started. I'm a little black girl from the West End of Atlanta. I'm shooting my second season of my TV show. I shot my sitcom here. I'm on the morning show at V103 now here.
Nice.
So I'm everything Atlanta. This is my city. And, hope to inspire somebody. Just believe in yourself and you can do any and everything. And I do it for my city. You know how they say you put on? I put on for Atlanta.
That's
okay,
awesome.
I like that. So I'll put you on my list because I'm a Falcons fan. I have to put you on my wall of fame. I got it. Yeah, I'm lifelong Falcons. I wrote to them as a kid. They were the only NFL team to write back to me with all my football cards signed. The listeners are sick of hearing my dumb story, but. You, Killer Mike, Big Boy, I'll put you on the list. Okay, see, that just makes me like Atlanta even more. I had no idea that you were shooting it there. I knew the connection, but I didn't know you were. So everything is done there in the city?
Yep, everything. We shoot right here in the studio in Atlanta.
That's
We
dope.
start January 24th.
Very, very cool.
Got 10 episodes. I shot this, like I said, I shot the special here, everything. I'm on V103 in the morning. You can tune in on the Odyssey app and listen to me. Everything Atlanta for me. Baby.
I'll be in there on vacation. That'll be awesome. I'll definitely do that.
Pat, do you ever look back and say, look where I am now compared to where I was? Is it, or do you just work and grind and never stop? And do you take the time to appreciate
like a reflection, a moment of reflection?
Like how far you've come?
Yeah.
No. People ask me that all the time. They're like, have you taken all of this in? No. I just see myself as the same. I go to work. I'm grinding. I mean, I treat everything like the dope game. If you sit down and count your money, you're gonna get shot.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose sales.
That was now burned in my brain. She's right.
That's
so
awesome.
I treat everything like my drug dealing days. It's all about working. This is just a puzzle, and I keep adding pieces to my puzzle. And so, I don't have time to reflect. Oh my God, I'm famous. Oh my God, I did this. I did that yesterday. Is what am I going to do today?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's awesome advice. Miss Pat, thanks so much for talking to us.
The improvorlando.com. Sam and I will be there Friday night late. Yeah. I can't wait to see the show. Anybody else on there? Are you bringing anybody, or are you just coming to town?
It's just me and my opening act, Dion Curry.
Oh, Dion Curry.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Have we had Dion in here?
No, nope. not Dion Curry, no.
And that's not Dion Cole. I said
right.
Curry.
Right. Yeah.
We've had or DZ Curry.
We've had almost everybody in here. Hey, thank you so much for the time. Enjoy your time in Orlando. We're glad to have you, and hopefully we'll get to do this again, okay?
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. You too.
She is so sweet.
Yeah, Dion's on her podcast if you guys want to check it out.
That was absolutely awesome. Oh, she heard me say she was sweet. I didn't mean to do that, but I'm glad she heard it.
Yeah.
Well, that was all. Man, we're having a fun week.
Yeah, she is a great personality.
She is what we call a bad bitch.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch. Yeah, she'll I was going to curse her. She'll get you. She'll F you up. Don't mess with her. Strong.
It's funny because, man, I so envy
smart businesswoman,
super tough people because I don't know what it is.
I think this show is fascinated with that. I think we're fascinated with people that are able to self-make themselves or get out of situations that were bad and make better situations. Because I'm not saying our situation was anywhere near close to that, but we do know a thing or two about having to pivot, right? We do know that. So when we see people that do it on a much higher level, and especially when it's like inner city,
my God,
and she was forced to.
Woman, black. There's a lot of factors, and she crushes it and hits it out of the park.
She was a teenage single mom.
Yeah.
Then she brought in 4 kids that were her sister's kids that got
they weren't even her kids.
They weren't even her. She helped raise them. Like, she's been grinding since she was 14.
Yeah, I know.
And looks great.
Yeah.
And then
it's great that she's finally getting the recognition because she's been around for a long time.
Yeah, a while. Damn it, I didn't get a chance to slip in anything about Ari. I wanted to mention Ari Shafir and his
obsession with her.
His obsession, and see if she had anything to say about his apparent obsession. Do you find, like I do, Tom, when we do talk to men or women that are grinders, that is a characteristic in my mind that is extremely attractive. I admire that so much.
Yeah, because I think it's so hard. That's the thing. It's like anything, losing weight or exercising or whatever. It's
you've been bringing
how to do it, but
you've been bringing up discipline lately, or what's the other rituals or routine.
Yeah.
These are things.
Yeah, it's hard to do, So it's like we all respect, I think, or gravitate towards people that can do that because we're like, man, we want to do that, Like everybody wants to be as hard of a worker as Miss Pat, you know what I'm saying? And like, but it's hard. So it's like, I don't know.
We need her to mentor us.
It's well, I see with her, the mentor thing makes sense because anything like she had a point I think in that interview where it felt like she was like, oh, like they know stuff about me, like you can feel it. I don't know if you guys can, but when we're doing interviews in the beginning, there's no roots, we're just kind of floating on the surface, but you can feel it once you've talked to her long enough because this was our first time talking to her, where you can feel it kind of catch. And then when it caught was your question. We were talking about your sons, and then she made the joke about teaching white people how to have grit. You could feel it kind of grab. And then we were getting some really authentic advice there, that I love it when we have comedians come in and they can
She's just genuinely funny.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to have
naturally
jokes
funny.
and setups. She's just genuinely funny.
Yeah, because it's real. It's a lot of times she can just be real and be entertaining all day long. And I have to start listening to her podcast because I imagine it's like that, her telling stories. When you go through what she went through, and then it's probably hard for her. And that's like, I imagine, once you start getting more and more famous, there are the element of you start hanging around more and more rich people, and then you see people that didn't, when someone grows up and you grow up in the suburbs or you grow up rich or whatever, you don't go through, it's hard to go, you don't go through that much adversity, right? Some people do, obviously everybody's different, but if you had a normal life and upbringing, you're so different than I imagine Miss Pat, because she's she has nothing to relate to. Look what she went through. Yeah. And then the normal person are I had 2 parents. I grew up. I went to private school.
When I turned 16, they bought me a car. I went to high school. Just the normal.
And then and there's
cushy.
There's nothing bad about that.
No.
That's what everybody I think wants to have.
It's a
Miss
reality.
Pat would have rather. I mean, I'm sure she would have rather had that life than the life she had to go through. Now, maybe she wouldn't, because she I wouldn't be the same person.
The benefit that she gets
I don't
is,
think so.
is being
But I think she would rather not have gone through what she had to go
exactly.
through.
That's
think
what
everybody
I think,
would, right? But because
a lot of people like to say that they wouldn't, but I don't think that's true for most people.
Yeah, because it's if you read about it,
it writes for a better story, right? When you say that, I think that she, but there's pros and cons for everything, right? So even though it was a negative growing up that way, but the positive end result of that is that she was left. It sucked, but she was left with a level of appreciation for finer things or hard work that other people do not have. So there is a positive there. She gain the grit. She maybe she manages her money better because of that. I don't know.
What's
that
interesting?
Speaks more on her though.
It does. It does.
It didn't work out for her sister like that, and she grew up the same.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to, right?
But that's what's interesting to me too, is because is the toughness and the work ethic? Are you born with that? Because there are lots, I would say millions of people with the same similar story of how bad their upbringing was, right? And so, but that didn't turn them into success. Sometimes it ruins people, right? And it ruins more people than it turns into a success.
I think eventually we'll get to it. It'll just be case by case.
So what was inside Miss Pat and her, sense of humor and her talent?
Maybe that's just the true uniqueness
and her
we
work
can't
ethic
quantify, right? Like if it's your soul or something like that.
Yeah. So her situation maybe made that, made her more of a tough person or give her more adversity. But really, it was who she was that made her who she was.
And now it's almost like she's so prepared to navigate. She's a little older. There's some appreciation there. She knows how to work. She's it's almost like she has all the skills now to go explode. It's it feels like she's doing it right.
Yeah.
Because she's, you know what I mean? I like it when I see.
She's about to blow up.
Yeah, I like it when I see the story of the person that's been grinding at it for forever, and then when it does
Kind of like
land,
Tiffany Haddish, how she had her blow up, and she'd been doing it for years.
I'm trying to think of like a guy that's happened to recently, or there are bands that it happens to where, man, this band's been around for like 12 years, and then finally they get their hit, and then people start like really giving their due diligence.
Yeah. I don't think you can. I mean, you could have a one-hit wonder blow up, but there's no way to sustain it if you didn't learn the grind beforehand. Because learning it after you blew up, there's no way you could, because it takes so many years of that mentality. So then you
have to be forged in some way.
Yeah. Then you could utilize the success after, but I don't think it can go in reverse. But,
it's funny. Ghost of Manu Bull says, not a popular artist, but Kid Rock was around for a long time before Devil Without a Cause hit big. Yeah, he's actually one of the people that I always think of. I'm not a huge fan.
Everybody really has. I mean, most artists, like, even though it seems like one hit wonder.
He didn't have to grind.
I would probably say.
I think he did grind.
He would probably tell you differently.
In order to like get on a record label and have a hit song, sure, but he didn't have a hard time growing up.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Well, yeah. I'm sure he had to grind to become musically in the entertainment industry. Like there had to have been a grind there.
Yeah, he had a tennis court. God almighty, I had a tennis court.
But it doesn't.
I had a tennis court. Maybe I had to play tennis.
But tennis, am I right?
Getting into similar to the NFL or any professional sport, right? It's performance based, right? You don't just no one gives you a position in a professional sport because of any other reason than you help them win, right? And I think entertainment's the same thing. Like if you get successful in the entertainment industry, there had to been, no matter what your background was, there had to been a grind to get into the entertainment industry and to stay relevant and to make that your business, right?
Yeah.
Because the people, the listeners, the viewers, whatever you want to call them, they will determine whether they want to consume your product or not. And so, and they're not doing it because they like you or they're just because they feel sorry for you.
It's a personal choice for them. It's selfish. Yeah. It should be.
So really anybody, even stuff that we don't like, but that's all subjective, and entertainment is all subjective. But if you reach the level of success, it means you had the grind in you. It's almost impossible without it.
Yeah, no, right? I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And then there's different levels of that.
Yeah. Because even now, like especially now, like it doesn't even matter if like you have the most famous or most watched like viral video. That doesn't translate into money.
No.
Unless you figure out how to do that. And if you figure that out.
Are you hearing that, Island Boys? You missed it. You missed the boat, Island Boys.
Yeah, well, whatever Island Boys are doing.
It finally made its way to Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. I saw that. I haven't watched it yet, but now it's done now officially because it's on that NBC show.
They may not have the grind in them, but maybe, I mean, I don't know them, but maybe they do have that. And I
think that's why a lot of these influencers like Supreme Patty and Daddy Longneck and Wide Neck and Gucci Berry, all these guys that we've talked about on the show before. One of the reasons why I feel like they have a handler is because they don't have that grind.
The handler
is purely the guy that
the grind guy.
Yeah, he's like, I got to take another picture of your unfortunately long neck and post it to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
Get over here and make your neck look long. And then they take the photo and they put it like, if you don't have that guy, then you're just another weird looking dude. And I guess since that's subjective, we all have the chance of being a weird looking dude, right?
Yeah.
To somebody.
Yeah, but there's weirder,
Who's the weirdest looking person you know, full name?
Know in person or like just know in
or
general
just think about that person. Don't say their full name.
No, I'll say their full name.
Okay.
Like
the weirdest looking. You will say their full name.
I'm trying to think of
the weirdest looking.
Well, like personally, no,
because
you
personally,
know. Daddy Longneck is weird.
No, that you personally have a relationship with. You're gonna hurt their feelings when you say that.
That's fine. I'm trying to think of weird. Like honestly, no one really pops out of my head.
The strangest looking.
You got me.
Mine is between Norm and Mike B.
There's a couple in my head.
Norm, you won't say.
I can't hurt their feelings.
Norm and Mike B. And Mike B's really is only because of his mustache and nose ring combo. That's it. It's a novelty.
Yeah, I call that.
And then
a costume,
Norm, because Norm is just so unfortunate. Ugh.
I thought to myself, I was like, it doesn't hurt Norm's feelings, right?
I hope it doesn't, because I'm kidding. No. I've forgotten what Norm looked like. I met him one time.
Yeah.
He's like a red-haired guy. Look, a normal guy, basketball shorts and a hat. Right?
Yeah, it's just a fantasy.
And he has like
character.
a hot wife, doesn't he? Like a hot girlfriend or wife.
I don't think.
Was that your girlfriend or wife at Hourglass?
That was just another Twitch person.
Oh, well, she's got the Twitch. All right.
Jeez.
Am I allowed to say that?
I don't think so.
I don't think I can say that. Hold on, I got to take some diamonds away from my toe.
Some weed diamonds?
Yeah. No, not weed diamonds. I'm talking about purple Twitch diamonds. The new world is so confusing. This is why old people get so confused. This is so confusing. Weed is now diamonds. You got to tip out your streamers with purple diamonds. It's a reason old people want to kill themselves right now. Is because none of you guys use any of the lingo that we've spent the last 100 years trying to forge.
Oh, man.
We make up new stuff now.
I'm glad my pop-up isn't here to see me get paid through purple diamonds
and
weed diamonds.
And weed diamonds. You use your purple diamonds from Twitch, you cash those in for money and use the money to buy weed diamonds. That's what we actually do. I will be at Trulieve later today picking up weed diamonds. Now, right now, I'm looking at my Twitch screen as purple diamonds flow by.
We'll take the purple diamond and turn them into weed diamonds.
Well, it takes like 3 weeks for Twitch to send me my purple diamonds. It's got to hit my account.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. On Zoom with us right now, our friend Chris Gwaltney. What's going on, Chris?
Not much, man.
From the Humidor.com.
Yeah, it's not just our friend Chris. I like that we.
Well, they know already.
I like that we become so casual with our show today. We're having fun today, Chris. And when we have fun, we're just like, hey, we got our buddy Chris. He's just going to hang out in the corner and just talk to us via Zoom. No big deal. No agenda. Not a radio show. I like
it. It works. It works.
So, Chris, what's going on in or at the Humidor that people should know about?
Well, we sell cigars, if you didn't know that.
Yes, what? Yes, I like it. Clown him hard. Clown him hard, Chris.
Okay, I know it was a dumb question.
Well, then why'd you ask it?
Well, I'm just trying to open it up so Chris can plug you. Like, what's going on. I want to talk to him about the NFL.
Chris, how was your Christmas? What did you get for Christmas, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
I'm Tom Fan.
I kind of always wanted to do one of those White House press briefings, where they ask the question that they know the answer to and just kind of go off,
Clown them.
Or do the age-old tactic where you say something horrible, like you're asking the question that everybody wants to know, but it's off limits. So, like, if you get them on the couch, you're like, what would you say to somebody who says that you are a pedophile? Like that? Not you, Chris. I mean, Tom. I mean, whoa.
Very good.
Very good.
So, Chris, did you get it yet? We all got it.
You talking about the Rona?
Yeah, we all got it over Christmas.
Sweet Corona.
Yeah, it got us.
Actually, I got Corona Light. I got Corona Light, and it was an asalito.
Actually, I noticed that Sam was chronicling it on her podcast, which I was listening to. I was enjoying it.
I appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah, it was good, man. You gave extreme detail. It was like, I don't know if I've had it or not. Wait
a minute. Let's get back to these extreme details. Do they involve her breast? Because I better go back. I gotta listen to that show.
And hold on, Chris. You're making me.
Tell everyone, man, if you want to know what it's like to go through COVID, I think she gave the most detailed explanation.
Okay.
Hey, Chris,
I'll go back and listen to. She's got a really good show that only you and I apparently
Hold on, you're making me look bad, Chris, because I'm like, listen, I'm so busy I can't listen. You're
busy.
You're busier than I am, so that doesn't give me any excuse now.
No, man, it's I've been fortunate, I assume. I know we were joking. Everybody always says, "Yeah, I had it. I remember I had a sore throat back, a year and a half ago." Everybody's got that story, but it's kind of weird, man. It's like I haven't really had a cold or I haven't had the flu. I haven't really since the whole pandemic officially broke out. I came back from the DR right before they in 2020, in January of 2020, February. Right before they shut the country down in March, and I came back from the DR and was sick, which usually isn't a rare thing because you kind of go at it pretty hard, a lot of drinking, a lot of smoking cigars.
Sure.
And you always come back, you always kind of feel kind of down. And I kind of had like flu-like symptoms for like a week. But that was before everybody was talking about this crazy virus. And then I remember we had the first patient in the U.S. or whatever. And that was like weeks after I'd gotten over it. So I haven't taken a COVID test. I haven't since I've been here, and I haven't been sick since coming back from the DR. So maybe it's the cigars, man. I don't know.
Wow. You heard it here first.
That's my favorite.
Cigars.
Yeah. Cigars cure COVID. Up next, we're going to talk to a couple of podnesters who say that cigars cure COVID.
Smoking cigars beats drinking urine. I don't know if you've seen that latest.
Oh, that's a new thing.
Yeah, I've done only cigars on that side, and I'm just going to go with cigars. I'm just going to go with cigars are better.
So Chris, let's talk NFL. Because
do you want to get to the? Do you want before we get to the NFL?
What?
Do you want to get to the hate mail?
Oh, come on! What I thought you were joking around about that.
No,
Oh, okay.
I wasn't joking. It's not hate mail. We did. It's not. I'm kidding you. We actually had, and I didn't think these guys would have the balls to do this, but we actually have what I believe is a mad Houston Astros fan. Seriously, I'm dead serious.
Hold on, if you're a Houston Astros fan, don't you like if people?
This guy's mad at me, mad at Gwaltney, mad at the show.
Like because they're a hated baseball team, so don't you?
Hold on,
you
just
fly,
listen to this.
You're just like I'm not saying
Just
anything.
listen, you guys
Okay.
listen to this man and see what he has to say. Here we go. Here's the voicemail.
I'm going to have to apologize off the bat. Sometimes I call you guys as just like therapy because I need to yell and scream about something. I can't get over the fact of how everyone is crying about those Astros cheated on one hand, but yet on the other hand, you guys are all S&ing Tom Brady's D like he didn't get caught. Like he didn't cheat and get caught and get punished by the NFL, and this has happened multiple times. Anybody who thinks that this is just the one or two few.
Okay, wait, he's using the Astros as fuel to fire his hate of Brady. Okay, sorry. I apologize, Chris. I got it wrong. So this man, and he goes on to curse and get very angry at the end, which I won't play. And he's not mad at Chris, really. But I think we did whip the bee's nest a little bit. We've been talking a little baseball. So this guy is saying that Tom Brady, I think I'm laying the gist down there. Tom Brady, no different than the Astros. That's what this guy's saying. Thoughts on the table?
Well, the conversation is going to be a really good one when he starts off with, I need to apologize off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like how he used bat, baseball
Ah.
reference. But, when someone says, I need to apologize off the bat, it's like when someone says, I'm not a racist, but.
Yeah,
Something pretty
exactly.
bad's going to come. You might want to just keep that thought to yourself.
It's like
and don't
the
say
way
what
we
you
use.
think's not going to be racist, right?
Yeah, it's like the way that we use full transparency around here. It's like something we're hiding.
Yeah, right.
We're hiding it all.
So, but now there are different, cheating is on a spectrum just like everything else. There's different levels of
Can
cheating.
we use a different word this year that means spectrum just to freshen it up a touch?
There's different scale.
Can we say sliding scale?
Yeah, there's a sliding scale of
There we go.
cheating. And I do feel like you deflate a football a little bit so you can grip it better in certain weather conditions. You still have to complete the passes. It's not going to make it magical where all of a sudden it makes you a 10% better quarterback. It gives you a slight edge.
I can't throw a spiral unless I can grip the football.
And then if the batter knows what pitch he's getting based on different banging on trash cans or whatever the hell the Astros were doing, I feel like that's more of an advantage than deflating the football by 2 PSI.
Yeah, but you play neither of the sport, right?
True, but
So-
that makes logical sense to me because now you're giving the advantage to every batter instead of just one guy on a football team,
Okay, yeah.
right? Because does it give the advantage to the wide receiver having deflated football? Probably not as much.
Maybe
right?
holding on to it would be a little bit easier, right?
But how much incrementally? What is that difference between knowing what pitch you get? I'm not a professional,
Yeah.
not a quarterback or a batter, but I feel like knowing the pitch gives you bigger advantage than deflating the football.
What do you think, Chris?
I agree. Let's start with football first. Okay, so football, even if you have a little bit more of an advantage, you're able to grip the ball better. There's so many things that it's not going to help the guys block a little bit longer. It's not going to help you go through your progressions any faster. It's not going to help your wide receivers run better routes. I mean, there's so many things that have to go right on a football play. And even when guys do everything they're supposed to do, sometimes the other guy just makes a better play, right? We've seen that before where a defensive back, runs to perfect coverage. Your receiver runs a great route. The quarterback throws a perfect ball. And the defender is in perfect stride, and there's just no way to defend a perfect pass, right? So a lot of things have to go right in football. And I think in baseball, it's a team sport, but the individuals have a more individual impact, I guess that makes sense, on the game because you have a batter versus a pitcher, and they dictate what's going to happen. And a batter knowing what pitch is coming from a pitcher is so much more advantageous than a quarterback having a little bit better grip on a football. It's not even in the same realm. Just think about all the other things that have to happen. That batter knows what that pitch is. He takes all of the other guys out of the play because he's just going to crank the ball, right? There's nothing those other guys can do. Even in that situation where the quarterback has a slight advantage, there's still 20 guys, there's the 21 other guys on the field. He's got 10 guys on his side and 11 guys on the other side trying to stop him, and they all have to do their jobs.
Yeah,
it depends on whether they do their jobs or not. Whereas in baseball, it's really pitcher versus batter. And all of those other guys, you have a chance to take all those other guys out of the equation by hitting the ball really, really hard or really far, putting it in a gap. And there's nothing they can do about it. So I think that in baseball, it is you can't really compare the two at all.
No, I mean,
a lot of people hate Brady.
If I was this guy,
and then a lot of people I see, including my friend Chris Fisher, who now they love him and think he's the greatest thing in the world. He's like, you've only had him for a year. That's not fair. You're not allowed to do that. I don't think you're allowed to be like, this guy's the GOAT if you've only had him a year. And you got to give him 5. And if he doesn't do 5, if he ends in 3, then you still get to claim him. But I think it's too soon for you to be able to do that. That's bandwagoning at its finest.
Yeah, this guy's argument should be everybody else was doing it too.
That's a better argument.
Yeah, that's a better
argument to me.
Than comparing yourself to Brady and how – because I feel like although Brady is now the most popular quarterback and like the new generation – like my sons know Tom Brady and nobody else.
So does Maisie. It is a household name. Maisie naturally he will come up if she needs a sports icon. Okay, Brady in my house, and I don't know why, because this isn't for me. I don't dislike him. I think he's the greatest. But in my household, we've been looking for. Remember, you're looking for like somebody. You're looking for Jordan, right? You're looking for an adjective. You're looking for somebody to compare the best of the best, right?
A pop culture icon of the sport.
And it used to be Jordan. Me growing up, it was Jordan. But now Maisie will be like, oh yeah, like he's the best, like Tom Brady. She'll say like Tom Brady.
Yeah, I guess maybe a transfer from that to LeBron James, maybe from Jordan to LeBron James. But there was always that argument who's better. And then now Brady, there's no other argument. And there's no one that can make an argument that anybody else is better. Now, you can make the argument that someone's more talented and now, but through his achievements.
Or you could say better arm, right? You could say that.
Yeah. A better runner. A million different things.
You can't say overall better.
Yes, overall, he takes the cake in every category. And then there's probably... It's going to be hard for any future quarterback to beat him until the rules. Now, this is another thing,
when
too.
They start because when did the sack come in? Like things like that.
Yeah,
it's like the sack came in like, what, 1986 or 83?
Chris, speaking of Tom Brady, I started watching Man in the Arena yesterday because my wife went to bed early, so I went to my hot tub, got super high. This is the time where I need to smoke cigars.
When your wife goes to bed, you go to your hot tub, get nude and watch Tom Brady? Like that is...
He's got his Oculus next to the hot tub.
This guy, you're so weird, dude. If my wife goes to bed early, I put the Oculus on and I go straight for the porn. His wife goes to bed, he gets naked, gets in the hot tub, started watching Tom Brady Man in the Arena bull ring, Lego Man haircut.
But and I'm watching the first episode, and they're talking about like when he took over for Drew Bledsoe, and after Drew Bledsoe got hurt, which reminded me why they changed the rules about not murdering the quarterback, because it's like you got these defensive ends just landing their 300-pound bodies on quarterbacks on purpose, crushing their.
I had to go look it up.
I mean, the guy had internal bleeding inside, like he bled out 2 pints of blood.
Should not laugh at that.
And so anyway, so I'm watching that, and I'm realizing that it's so different than it was before, and now and they don't mention it's like they're talking about all these new records that have been broken. I'm like, yeah, but there was an extra game in the season. Like, you have to put an asterisk next to that. Like, you're like, the Cooper Kupp with another or whatever receiver is like, yeah, but he had an extra game. You can't say that is the same as last season when everybody else had one less game. You have one more game to pad your stats. So
correct.
It's like there has to be an asterisk.
And if you listen to semantics like me and Gwaltney do, you'd know that Samantha likes Cooper Kupp's name. She mentioned it on the beginning of the show.
And then if you're talking about QBs breaking, if someone does break Tom Brady's record.
Well, if the world stays alive, I do think that somebody will, but it'll be a long time.
But it'd also be in a world where you can't even touch the quarterback.
Because your VR set. You're playing on the VR.
Well, I mean,
it won't even be real.
So they'll be able to be Tom Brady spent the majority of his career getting crushed before they changed the rules. So that's even more impressive. So I don't think there'll ever be someone that you can compare Brady to.
That's why you come to Tampa, so you can get the tan and you won't be all bruised up.
Like the ability to even stay in the game for for that long before they made the rules change is impressive. Anyway, so Chris, I got to ask you about a bet that I got really excited about.
We got a couple minutes left. So
Oh,
don't
sorry.
go crazy.
Okay, real quick.
Haven't even got to cigars.
So I gave I said,
Matt,
what's
I
going
think
on?
We got that out of the way to start with.
Yeah, let me try this.
Chris at the cigars on humidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan.
Exactly. Full
You
transparency.
can see all of 2022 predictions by Chris on the humidor.com.
You can indeed.
Predictions.
Like I said, full transparency, which means we're hiding things.
Yep.
They have cigars. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I got this bet, Chris, and tell me if you like it. So this narrative out there that the Steelers, like basically Ben Roethlisberger's already retired, that they shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
But they are. And you said they wouldn't be. I'll just point that out.
I know. I'm doing the same thing. But I believe something so much, and it reminds me, bet against that, you are the public. You're thinking like the public. Bet against the public. Because
people want them now to win.
Well, no. They're looking at the Steelers like they shouldn't even be there, and Kansas City is, a way better team, which on paper they are. But now you're giving, I think that's, and every gambler's looking at like inflated spreads because of what the narrative is. But Steelers are plus 13 against the Chiefs. And I'm like, man, this, like, Ben Roethlisberger plays like garbage the first half, but after he warms his old man legs up and his arm up, like he's come back in a lot of games, and the Steelers can stay competitive. What do you think about taking the Steelers plus 13 in this playoff game?
You know what? If you're thinking about doing that, I would probably go that direction. A couple of reasons. We saw what happened last year, and I know they don't have the same injuries that they did, but in the Super Bowl in Kansas City with the pressure that Mahomes was under,
right?
Because he had some injuries at the tackles, and you're going against a pretty good pass rush, and you're going against a guy like Watt who tied the sack record.
He's fun to watch.
With one extra game, put another asterisk, right? But somebody, I was talking with somebody about that maybe he doesn't get an asterisk. It cancels it out because the guy who owns the record, Michael Strahan, it was kind of cheap because Brett Favre just kind of laid down for him. So maybe we just call it even, Steven, with the 7 extra game.
Interesting.
But no, I'm with you, man. I think the Steelers, I think they will. I think they'll cover that, and I think they might have a shot at winning the game outright. Kansas City, man, has been really kind of up and down, and they really haven't hit on all cylinders. So you keep waiting for them to just like explode.
Oh, trust me, I had Mahomes as my quarterback in my fantasy league, and
it's the same. It's the same feeling. Everybody was thinking about it. You're watching this. To me, this season is a microcosm of the Super Bowl. Last year, you're watching the Bucs, you're watching Kansas City. You're like, okay, when they're going to turn it on? When they're going to turn it on? And then you look up, the game's over, and they lost, right? Yeah. And that's kind of like, to me, that's the season. When are they going to turn on? When they turn it on? Now, they've had some spots, and they played good enough.
They've had a run this past
the last.
I don't know, man. I think they're in trouble. I really think the Steelers have a shot. And you can thank the Jacksonville Jaguars. It wouldn't have happened if we hadn't destroyed the Colts at home in our final game of the season.
What do you think is going to happen in Jacksonville, or what would you like to see happen in Jacksonville? Because I didn't know I had so many Jaguars fans like in my friendships as like this last game. I was like, where you been?
I feel bad for them.
But every good Jaguar fan that I know at least enjoys a good Colts whooping. So
for sure, we own them. They haven't won
7 years, right?
Duval in forever. So,
I think it's 7 years or something. My wife told me some weird fact that and then she started
since 2015. Yeah,
and there's more. There's like, if you dig in, there's like things about points and like there's little rare weirdo facts.
Well, in Jacksonville, I was part of the Firebalky movement. I was part of the clown out. I didn't dress up like a clown for the game, but I changed my avatar like all good Duval folks have done.
I like that.
My point is, I think they need a clean sweep. I think they need to get rid of the general manager. I don't care if it wasn't fair. I don't care if the Urban situation was a bad situation for him. You got to have a clean slate, man. People in Jacksonville are tired of this. You've got a generational quarterback. The guy's shown you what he can do if he's developed correctly, and you get some talent around him. And I don't think there's anybody in that building right now that should be making any football operation decisions, as far as picking personnel. The front office, they all got to go. And start fresh. And as far as the coaches go, they've interviewed a lot of good ones. I mean, I would like if the Steelers decided that it's time for Mike Tomlin to go, I would take him. I would take Pete Carroll. I'm looking for established guys. I'm not looking for the next hot coordinator. I just think we need a culture change, and we need a grown up in the building. And I'm kind of leaning towards that. I'd be happy.
Write that down. We need that. Write down grown up in the building.
You guys need a grown up in the building.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we do.
Again, thehumidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan when you make your order. Save 20%. Chris, thanks so much for talking to us today. We'll talk to you next month, okay?
All right, thanks.
All right,
Chris.
buddy. Be good, man.
All right, bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted to jump into some voicemail messages. If you have a comment, a question, anything you'd like to throw at us, we'd love to hear from you. All you got to do is, for emails, show@tomanddan.com. We're getting a new printer that will be here on Friday.
Oh, thank God.
I mistakenly thought it would be here today. They emailed me and said, nope, back ordered. We'll ship it to you, or at least to the place you're picking it up on Friday. So we'll have that. And if you want to leave a voicemail message, 2 ways to do it. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That number goes to our answering service. Leave a message that way. Or get our app where all of our content lives and hold down the mediocre messages button. Talk into your phone and it will shoot me an email message, much like this one. Oh, do you have something you want?
I was just thinking that here at T&D Media, the easiest things, like seemingly the easiest things, are the hardest for us to do. But we could do hard-ass complicated things. Like, we could put on a Land Cruise. We could do...
we can be available to you via Zoom anywhere in the world at any moment.
At the drop of a hat.
At a drop of a hat.
Yeah, and then all these other things that are seemingly
we
insanely
can work for
complicated.
24, 48-hour cycles.
Even this business itself, is weird and complicated, and not that many people do it.
We can navigate entertainment landscape independently.
But when it comes to, ordering a printer, finding our P.O. box...
Can't do it.
I'm trying to think of other things
Can't do it.
Just figuring out the right trash can to put the trash in.
Well,
I always put in the wrong one.
Okay, here, let's talk about the printer for a second. We might as well make this organic. I didn't want to buy the printer scanner copy machine because, A, that's what every nerd dad who thinks his dumb small business is going to make it does. And I don't want to be that guy. That thing's got bad energy. If you're starting a business, just buy a printer. Don't buy an all-in-one, because an all-in-one is like your brain's way of telling you that you can do everything. You're all-in-one. You have it all. Don't do that.
Who even uses a copy machine anymore? Like a teacher for
I
tests?
I do it for some of my jokes. I carry around a pocket full of little folded Xerox jokes, and I like to copy. No, my dad used to do that. My dad used to carry around little pieces of photocopied 11 by 9 computer paper or printer, or they wasn't. It was copy machine paper of some sort of horribly disgusting jokes. Usually, I had some lady smells like fish or that kind of stuff.
Pepe Le Pew with a boner.
Yeah, Pepe Le Pew with a boner, or this mermaid smells like fish. Fish. That whole thing. A picture, some sort of a folded sheet, and it would have been photocopied so many times that it had so many little black pieces of dust that got bigger over time. So eventually, it just becomes a black sheet with where the thing you're reading is white. It's like a photo negative.
Hold on, I want to carry around a Xerox piece of paper of just this mermaid smells like fish in my pocket at all times.
He'd have it in his wallet or something. He'd be guys are talking to me come over here, and then he'd take it out, and he'd unfold it, and then you'd see him laughing about it, and then I'd come, what are you guys doing? Oh, I'd fold it up, and he'd be get out of here. We're just having man talk. Go play your Sega Genesis. He's gay. That's what he said. That's what my dad would say to his friends. I think he's gay. He didn't say that. He might have. I don't know. Let's try this voicemail.
Okay, so I'm a traveling stonemason, original BDM.
A traveling stonemason, original BDM. I like this guy's voice cadence.
Okay, so I'm a traveling stonemason, original BDM.
Right.
I lived in Melbourne, Florida.
Drunk?
I'm a stonemason, and I travel. Maybe my job is more interesting. I don't know. We do ridiculous stuff.
Very nice.
I love your guys' show.
Love you too. He's been drinking.
Yeah. What was the purpose of?
He wants to be interviewed.
Wants to be a Weird Job
He wants to be
Wednesday?
a Weird Job Wednesday. We're going to interview a traveling stonemason. I'll be down for that.
Yeah, and just
That's a
email
good-
Sam,
Yeah.
sam@tomanddan.com, and say you want to be in a Weird Job.
But so we know it's you. The subject line, very nice, and so or wizard sleeve, so we know it's you.
Man, that's got to be hard work, right? Stonemason.
I don't know what a stonemason does.
He'll tell us.
You put anything with stone and mortar. You know.
You know what I don't like now? I don't like fake bricks. I'm driving by this one building on one of the more popular roads in town, Colonial, and they're building like a bank or something, or they're refinishing a building. They tore down the exterior of it. They left basically the foundation. They're putting up like new aesthetics, right? And they put these stamp like bricks. It's not bricks. It's just like a.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like thin.
Are you saying that because
bricks?
that's the front of my house?
No, you have real bricks.
No,
right?
no,
Oh.
I got the fake
Oh,
stamp.
you got faux bricks?
Yeah.
Oh, you're poor.
No, I didn't mean to.
How
I didn't mean to
dare you.
insult. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not know.
I thought you were just straight up making it like
No.
Like,
No,
you
I'm
know what?
not.
I don't like short people. They disgust me. Every time I see them, I would throw up in my mouth. I just thought of that.
Wow, he's really attacking me.
And I'm telling you.
I didn't like why I inadvertently insulted your plastic house, and you have the
He
audacity.
just freshly painted those fake bricks.
Yeah. Paisley painted the bricks, and they're not even bricks. They're
No,
just.
but they're not. They're thin. They're like an inch thick, and they look like bricks.
No, those are even better than I have. I have where they just put whatever mortar on the outside of the house and stamped it in with some sort of brick stamps.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Brick
Like
stamps.
Play-Doh, where they just push it in and they're like, look at bricks.
No, you don't have that. You have real bricks.
No, that's that. I have the fake because they're all the gaps are 2 inches thick. You know what I'm saying? And it's all
The gaps are bigger than the fake bricks?
and they're rounded. No, like what
Wait,
I'm
the
saying-
grout's bigger than the brick? I've never seen that before. Wait a minute.
Not
we might
bigger,
be, hold
but-
on.
That's just pebbles.
We might be onto something. What if we flipped the entire flooring world on its ass by doing the new style
Mostly
is
grout.
Mostly grout.
Little bit of tile.
all
Small
grout.
brick, all grout.
Isn't that what basically those
Small brick, all grout. That's the way I like to shout.
those 3D printed houses, which I don't like, by the way, and I'll tell you why. But
I don't like them because there's gross homeless people in them.
have you seen this, Samantha?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So they just Habitat for Humanity maybe just did their first 3D printed house, and now they're able to basically it's a gigantic robot arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it has what looks like concrete
Yeah.
that pumps into it, and then
It comes out like soft serve.
and then basically it just traces the
Your house looks like a poop emoji because
because you ever take soft if you're building a sandcastle as a kid.
drippy castle.
Yeah, you drip the sand and then it falls, and then when it hardens.
Yeah, Sam, you've done a
create
drip castle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then that's essentially what they're doing with concrete, but it goes around and then basically, forms the foundation and the outside of the house, the walls of the house using drippy concrete.
Yeah, it
so
makes
but-
like a concrete poop emoji, and then
yeah.
and then you live in it. That's cool, I guess.
I don't know how. I think they have to actually put a roof on. I don't think it doesn't drip the roof because they can't. I think they have to go in there and put a regular standard roof.
Couldn't
but
you just put a piece of plywood on the top?
Well, I mean, you put the you have someone build the trusses and stuff, and put a
I guess you could
traditional
3D
roof.
print it somewhere else and bring it over.
But anyway, it just when they show the walls and you're like, yeah, it's just the poop emoji or the sandcastle drippings, it's just not as good. I was like, can you shave it off or can you hide?
I don't want it like.
Don't show me the drippings.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. I don't like the drippings either. I don't like smooth it out with a trowel and make it look like a traditional house.
Like you're telling me the robot.
You're making it look like I live in a marshmallow land.
The robot can't go behind and smooth out the drippings. Like I don't know.
Why can't they come out square? Why do they got to come out like soft serve or yogurt land or whatever?
Why can't the arm just pick up the block and then place it exactly where it needs to be? And
No,
then,
that wouldn't work. 'Cause you wouldn't be able to. You'd have to have blocks on like a conveyor belt that are constantly being fed.
Or to have a big pile and then it
You know what?
goes
Just
up.
use people. Forget it.
Yeah.
Just use
People on pain pills.
Yes.
That's how it's always been.
Yes. You don't need drip cows because you got people on pain pills faster than a robot. Who would win in a race? A robot or one of my friends that does construction on pain pills?
Unfortunately, the robot does win because it works 24 hours, not on pain pills,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
It never gets tired.
That's true. The robot also doesn't smack his family around. That's another thing.
Yeah. It needs the robot doesn't need to go to his truck
You know what? I'm
and
back to the
drink
robots now.
and drink 2 tall boys to keep his
Steady
hands
its arm.
Yeah.
What if the robot was like, I must consume 2 tall boys to steady my hydraulic arm?
Yeah, the robot is not coughing corona on everybody.
That's true. The robot's not racist either.
Yeah.
Telling racist jokes on the work
Yeah.
site.
The robot didn't show up with a broken foot because he kicked his dog around drunk and then claimed that he broke it on the job site to get the
workers'
insurance.
comp. That workers' comp.
Yeah, it's better, way better.
The robot.
It just does the drippy thing, which is the only downfall.
The robot doesn't hide in the porta potty to not work.
All right, bye-bye.